What's good? What's good? Welcome to the Epic Entertainment Critics. I'm Antoine. Okay. All right. So I ain't posted in a while. I did a few videos on a lot of trailers had just dropped and didn't have no audio, so I had to take them down. So this is my first post in a few weeks. But I went to see Creed 3, and I'm going to do a quick review on it as promised. First and foremost, the movie was good. Go see it, and I'm gonna break down, how the movie was good. But I'm telling you, it's good. I actually was skeptical, and because I thought the trailer made it look kind of basic, but it's good. It's better than 2. It ain't better than the first one, but it's close. So I had a few people say, "Oh, I ain't seen Creed 1 and 2." I'm like, oh, really? So I'm gonna just show a little quick trailer. It's only about 30 seconds, so people can kind of get a little look and see. The people who haven't seen it can kind of get a look, see what the movie kind of look like. But I don't want to show that whole 2.5-minute trailer. So just let me show this quick 30-second trailer, and then I'll be back with my full review.
I'm just getting started, little brother. I'm coming for it all.
Now play.
No friends in the industry. I had to draw the line between my brothers and my enemies. A fact.
One fight, you and me. Let's do it.
I had to draw the line between my brothers and my enemies. My brothers and my enemies. My brothers and my enemies.
You're out there boxing. I need you to start fighting. Creed 3, rated PG-13, now playing only beaters.
I'm just getting started.
Okay, all right. So that was a quick little 30-second trailer, but you kind of get the gist of it. It's a boxing movie. It's about 2 rivals. So let me break down that whole plot. Now this is the 3rd installment in the Creed series. Michael B. Jordan is the son of Apollo Creed. If anybody remember the Rocky series, Apollo Creed was the champion there. Rocky fought. This is his son. He in the first Creed, he found Rocky and asked him to train him. Rocky agreed, and they trained, and he ended up being the champion. And in the second movie, he fought Ivan Drago's son, Victor Drago, and beat him. And but it was like they had 2 fights. One fight Drago beat him, another the rematch he beat him. So at least they kind of did that. It wasn't a straightforward just beat him. But so now Adonis Creed, I'm sorry I didn't say his name. Adonis has retired from boxing. So this is supposed to be 7 years after the part 2. He retired from boxing, and now he's I guess he's a promoter now. He's a promoter, and he and the champ is actually one of his fighters is the champ, the heavyweight champ of the world. Which now I know this fighter. He's a good fighter, and I actually, and he didn't do bad in acting either. Jose Benavidez, and I'm like, Jose Benavidez is a welterweight. Why they keep trying to tell us this dude is a heavyweight? I'm looking at him, looking like they're like, yeah, the heavyweight champ. I'm like, heavyweight. This dude is a welterweight, 147. He might get passed for middleweight. His brother that's currently boxing now, David Benavidez, and they both real good for fighters. Fight at super middleweight, and David is bigger than Jose. So come on now. But Adonis is a promoter, and he's doing good. Like his fighter is the champ, is a heavyweight champ of the world. So they say. But no, his fighter is a heavyweight champ of the world, so he's doing good. He's that house is so dope. His relationship with Tessa Thompson character Bianca, that's going good. They got a beautiful daughter. As you find out in the second movie, his daughter is deaf. So it's kind of like it's a real cute story. But his daughter's deaf, so they kind of like they dealing with sign language, and it's kind of like and they had this part in the movie where he thought that he said something that I think any parent probably would say, but they don't think about it when they say it like that. So the girl was kind of getting bullied in school. It's a deaf school, and she started to get, other girls started to pick on her a little, and he was like, I didn't think she had to worry about, stuff like that because, since she just had to worry about learning sign language and getting along with people, she shouldn't have to worry about getting bullied. And they was like, yeah, she's still a kid. They still kids. They still do the same stuff other kids do. And he's like, yeah, true. You can't act like they're not, they special, but they also still just like everybody else. So you got to keep that in mind. You're still going to run into those problems as well as the main problem of trying to raise a deaf child. So there's a whole other story too. That was kind of cute how they handled that story. But the main story, which in all the Rocky movies, you got to have a villain, you got to have a challenger, a rival. So Adonis run into his friend that he grew up with, Damien. And they show, and I really like how they do it. They show a backstory of his whole history with Damien. Damien just got out of jail. Damien did 18 years, just got out of jail. He been in jail since 2002. Like, oh my God. It's like, yeah, damn, times change. So he get out of jail, come see him on friendly terms, but the thing is, and I don't want to spoil too much, but the trailer kind of gave away a lot. But I'm going to tell you what, the movie was what the trailer said. The movie was kind of straightforward. Damien got out and say, what's up, old boy, my old friend. I got locked up because something you did, so you kind of owe me. So, and it was funny. He's like, oh yeah, I'll give you a job, whatever you need. He's like, no, I want to be champ. He's like, what? Nick's like, because the thing about Damien is a little backstory on Damien. He was an amateur champion before he got locked up. So, and that was the funny thing is, Michael B. Jordan wasn't a fighter. He just was Damien's boy. And he said, he used to be his corner man or whatever. And he was like, I guess, as the Adonis got older, he's like, man, I want to box or whatever. So now he's the man now. So that you can imagine he get locked up. His homeboy, his younger boy, is basically his little brother that used to hold his gloves for him, is now the champ. And he like, and I went to jail and now you the champ. Now I can see some people like, why you salty? You should be happy for him, your little brother. But you can kind of feel Damien's position where, and I don't want to give away too much, but let's just say Adonis didn't do anything for Damien after he got locked up. And we just leave it at that. And I can kind of see where the big chip can get. And not only that, Damien felt like he was going to be the champ, before he got locked up. And his life kind of got robbed. Honestly, if you see, and I'm not going to tell the whole situation, if you see what happened, I totally understand why Damien is pissed off. Because it was kind of unfair what happened. And, so as you can see, they rivals, and well, they start off as friends, but then they become rivals because, as you can see, Damien actually becomes a pro fighter and fight for the title and win, and then he also so this is like, the thing is, it's things that Damien did that was kind of dirty, and I'm gonna get to his dirty fighting, but he did some dirty stuff to get to that where he got, and Michael B. Jordan felt betrayed. So that's kind of where, Adonis felt betrayed. That's kind of like where they at. And then that's where the grudges come from, So now, and I think, they didn't really say this, but I think it was kind of like, Damien kind of said he just wanted the belt, but I think he just wanted to get some revenge. Because they didn't really say it was straight revenge. It was more like, I'm only doing this just to get where I need to go, but also it could be revenge. But they didn't really specifically say that, but there's also some revenge there too. But yeah, it was. This movie was so well done. I'm so proud of Michael B. Jordan as a first time director, and doing. It's like some movies where you can say, "Oh, this person is not a really good director." You see how sloppy that filmmaking is, but no, that filmmaking was good, man. It's like it wasn't like, sometimes shots linger too long on shots, and some dialogue just don't seem like it belongs there. I didn't have none of those moments. It was good. It was well paced. It wasn't that long. It was under 2 hours, a little under 2 hours. I think that was kind of good because you don't want to go on too long, especially you kind of got an action paced movie with a lot of action in it. You just don't want to go on too long. I think that was a good idea, keeping it at the length they kept it. So yeah, it was well directed, and then they had some real experimental shots they did with the camera work, and I really love the camera work they did in the fight scenes, because in the fight the camera's just like moving around, but it was like almost like you was the referee because you was just moving around to all the good angles. It wasn't just a shot. It was real good, man. And he also did some stuff. Where they was fighting, but they use effects to make you kind of put you in their mind, and I think that's real good to be experimental like that. And I heard he was kind of inspired by some anime, which I'm like, me as a fan of anime, like I really love what he was doing there, and it was a real good movie, man. Well acted, and I'm gonna tell you, it's part in the middle. It's a part in the middle. Down there made me cry, and I'm not gonna say who. I'm not gonna say what happened. Something happened, and it was tragic. And it was sad, and yeah, it was, and it wasn't, what I'm saying, poorly shot. So it wasn't like, because I've seen some movies where they tried to make you sad, but it didn't work, and it's just kind of like, what is this? But no, it works. It was good, man. It's, hats off to Michael B. Jordan for a first-time director, man. And then I would like to see more from him, because after this, I definitely want to see more from him. And I think he was talking where this is not confirmed, but he was saying that he would be doing up to like making spin-off things. And a lot of people thinking that, because not to spoil too much, but you saw in the trailer that he started to teach his daughter how to box a little. And, female boxing is getting big. It's getting bigger, a lot bigger than it used to be. Because female MMA took off, but female boxing was still kind of right there. Female boxing is starting to get big, man. And I wouldn't be surprised to see a spin-off with his daughter, with his daughter boxing or something, if he do something like that. But it's other platforms, in case if he feel like that's not going to be like this big budget movie, he can do a little mini series on HBO Max or something, that'd be kind of dope. But yeah, man, it was a real good movie, man. I'm talking about the fight scenes, because that is where me as a boxing fan, is I'm watching it and I'm really looking to see what kind of fighting kind of choreography they're gonna use on this boxing, and what kind of style they're using. So talk about Dane, his style, he was a brawler. Dane was a brawler. He's, as you can see, Jonathan Majors is jacked, and his whole deal was brute force. So he's kind of like Clubber Lang a little bit, and he's very dirty. And I'm just, no spoiling, he's a dirty fighter. And they kind of alluded to that on the trailer, where it's like, oh man, this guy's out of control or whatever. He's a dirty fighter. If he can hit you with his elbow, he'll cut you with the elbow, and he'll trip you, hit you with his elbow. He'll attack a weak spot, which is not illegal. But I feel like I'm not mad at Dane, because one, his lack of skills, he had to make up for that. But I'm not excusing dirty fighting, but that's up to the other fighter to deal with that. You can't wait for the ref to save you. Sometimes the ref, he did take some points away, but Dame coming from where he was coming from, where he was, I guess he was when he was locked up, he just was working on his discipline, his I would say his the strength and conditioning, but he couldn't really work on his fighting. So he was real. He just kind of a raw. He just a real raw fighter, where he just kind of came out and was just strong. Strong and throw wild punches. And he had some technique, but it was less technique and more brute strength. But Michael B. Jordan, yeah, he's his boxing skills came up. And I'm watching. If you watch that last fight, if you slow it down, I mean, I know it's choreography, but he was doing his boxing movements looked great. You know what I'm saying? He was blocking shots. Getting real good angles and throwing good punches and hitting them with nice combinations. So I was like, oh yeah, Michael B. Jordan. I'm just calling by his character Adonis. Boxing is looking sweet. Like, yeah, his boxing looking sweet. And Dane was a little sloppy, but he was strong as hell. And then if I had one complaint, I didn't care for, they're gonna have this big fight at the end. I love the fight at the end, but it was a little too short, man. That was my only complaint. I thought the fight should have been a little more. I ain't gonna say it should be more dramatic because we get tired of dramatic stuff, but you have to give me just a little something more at the end to. I need a little more build up. The way they ended it just kind of ended. It was good. It was good. It just kind of just ended. And it was like, okay, I just needed a little more build up to that ending. And I'll tell you a better build up to the ending would be in Rocky IV. If we want to compare them to the Rocky movies, Rocky IV, where they had this long drag out, dirty, hard fight when they basically just. It was a endurance test. They would just beat the shit out of each other and see which one who could still stand up at the end of the last round. And I felt that because they both were so hurt and tired. But the end of this fight, it just felt like, they both cool, and one person got the punches. Well, she's been getting punches all night. Why this punch is the punch that stopped the fight. So I didn't really like how it ended. I ain't gonna say I didn't like, but I was hoping for a little more on the ending of that fight. But other than that, man, she was great, dude. I was so impressed, and I think it might have helped my rating by having my expectation was kind of down a little because of that trailer. I just thought it was gonna be, oh man, it's gonna be the same old. But yeah, that movie was good, man. So Creed 3, go see it. A good movie. I was thoroughly impressed. Michael B. Jordan did a phenomenal job on his directorial debut. This is what I want. I like to see more black people behind the camera and get creative control on these movies where you say, oh, yeah, there's a lot of black people in movies. Yeah, but you see now where you can control where the characters go, and they don't just like, okay, so more of this and less. And I ain't trying to disrespect like Kevin Hart, but less of that cooning, clowning shit. Like, it's cool. We can have some comedies, but it seems like they feel like they meet their black quota when they got the little goofy, clownish black dudes. That's your black quota. Like, all black people act like that, so that's why I don't like that. Get some creative control, and that's why I feel like then you can kind of like, write better scripts for these characters instead of just doing what they tell you to do, and I know a lot of young actors like, well, that's what I got, I got to pay the bills or whatever, but, this is a step in that direction though, where you say, a black movie don't really, a black big budget movie don't really make money, you can see, it can be done. And I just had it was just such a good movie, and you know, and it was like, I think I feel like it had a positive effect on people just seeing it. You know, things. It's like it was dealing with real things you got to deal with, but it handled it in a real good way. So, you know, I really like that. I really like seeing that. So my hat goes off to Michael B. Jordan, man. It was a well directed movie. It was actually well written. So yeah, I really liked it, and I'm gonna be out of here. But yeah, appreciate for anybody for checking out the video, and please subscribe to the channel. So all right, I'm gonna be out of here. Creed 3, go see that shit. It is dope. No lie. All right, I'm out of here. Thanks.